Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is you're watching this. Um, Thank you for watching already. This is a vinyl update, thrift store vinyl update with two new vinyl releases at the end. Um, yeah, not a large month this time around. A lot of okay albums, I guess. Some really nice ones, but overall, me. Got some 7 inches as well, so let's get started. First batch of 7 inch records is all Italo disco. I don't know why, but this particular thrift store that I went to, they had a lot of duplicate copies of these mid 80s Italo disco tracks from a German label, mind you. First up is this one. This is Tullio the Piscopo with Stop Bajon or Bajan. I don't know. This is not Italo disco. This is just Italian pop with a funky sound to it. It's on Zix Records. All of these are on Zix. This came out in 1984. I believe the original track came out earlier, but yeah, so this is Tullio the Piscopo. Pretty okay. Yeah, it's got a funky little side to it. Then we got 7 inches of Valerie Dore, or Valerie Dore. I don't know how you pronounce it. This one's called It's So Easy. It's got same track on both sides, you know. This is the Blue Zix label, just Italo Disco. And Get Closer by Valerie. This is a yellow label on Zix. Then we have Max Him. This one's called Danger Danger. It's got the normal version and the instrumental version on the blue label. And the last one, Maxim with Lady Fantasy on red label. Italo Disco, if you don't know what it is, it's Italian pop music, disco music, electronic music, squished together and thrown at the public, and everybody enjoyed it back then. A lot of things were enjoyable back then. I mean, Sabrina, Boys, 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 Italo Disco. Okay, picked up this one today. This is Frantic with Stretch Your Funky Stuff and Getting Serious on the Philadelphia International label. Came out in 1979. So Stretch Your Funky Stuff, probably Stretch Your Disco Stuff, but haven't listened to this one yet. And on a label called Virgo, this is Betty Harris with His Kiss, and It's Dark Outside. And this originally came out in, I believe, 1963, and this is a copy from 1975 on the Virgo label. So that's sort of an R&B 60s, early 60s R&B song. On to the LPs. I couldn't leave these behind. I'm not a huge fan of country music, not a huge fan of Dolly, but I just had to pick it up. This is Dolly Parton with The Great Pretender. There it is. It's an RCA. No idea what these songs are. I Walk the Line is on there. Is that? Yeah, it's a Johnny Cash track. But yeah, Dolly, had to pick it up. Let's put this one here. And I also picked up this one, You Are, by Dolly, which obviously has You Are on it. And that's all I know from this album. That was a big hit. So, Dolly Parton. Still need to get inner sleeves for that because they basically not there. Then I also found this one. This is Wet Willie with Dixie Rock on the Capricorn label. And it needs to be glued, but that's okay. 1975 this came out. I believe they're sort of a hard rock group. Could be wrong. I found this one at a thrift store as well. This is the Cell Soul Orchestra. The album is called Tangerine. This is the European version. Originally, it's self-titled from 1975. This is the 1976 release. And this is really good. I really like this. Sort of a Latin disco funk on Cell Soul label. I love that label. So I had to pick this up. And I also picked up this one. This is Roberta Kelly with Troublemaker. This is sort of a disco thing. Some of the tracks are written, most of the tracks except for one, are co-written by Giorgio Moroder. He arranged it, and did he produce it? Yeah, he produced it. So it's a very Giorgio Moroder sounding thing. I like this a little better than Donna Summer, but it's decent. It's on the Oasis label, so some disco. Then I picked up this one. This is Nancy Wilson, Best of Nancy Wilson. It comes out like that. Soul, vocal jazz, maybe. Don't know if I'm gonna keep this, but I found it. I found this at a thrift store as well. This was a little bit more expensive. This is Rice and Beans Orchestra, self-titled, I believe. And this is not good. I love the label. Well, I love the label. I love finding records on unknown labels. This is the Dash label. But this is just disco music, but not the good stuff. This is pretty bad disco music. They do versions of the Blue Danube. It's more classical music mixed with disco than, funk mixed with disco. So it's not a keeper, that one. This one I really enjoyed. This is Planet Patrol, originally on Tommy Boy, but this is the Dutch release on 21 Records. There it is. And this is electro, not electro rap or hip hop, but sort of soul mixed with electro, which is pretty cool. If you like Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force, you might dig this, except there's no rap in there. Then the last secondhand album I got is Tower of Power, We Came to Play from 1978. Some funk. Pretty good. It's not their best, but I really enjoyed this. Came with the original inner sleeve, and it is on CBS. So some funk. And then 2 records I got new. First of all, Depeche Mode. This is Memento Mori. I had this for a couple of weeks now. I really dig it. It is, let's see if I can fold this out. It's the trifold release. Not colored, but it came with some extra. Apparently, there was going to be some extra from the record company, but they sort of said, nah, we're not doing it. So the pre-order I placed, the record store there, they basically said, you know what, we're going to put some extra in there. And they did. They put this poster in it, which is not in the official release. This is just a promotional poster for the Memento Mori album. They added that. Not everybody who pre-ordered at that particular website or that store got it, I guess. But yeah, this is really good. It's dark. It's not a happy album. So I'm not going to show you the vinyl. It's just black vinyl. But really awesome record. Really dig it. And then I got this one. This is the new Benny Sings album. This is called Young Hearts. It came out a couple of weeks ago. This is on Sings Records. And as you can see, it's sort of clear blue, dark blue. Comes with a inner sleeve, and it is really good. It's like his other stuff. If you don't know Benny Sings, he's kind of, you know, getting around in the US. He's being released on Stone's Throw. He's really enjoyed in Japan. He sort of does yacht rock, Steely Dan type stuff, sort of a soulful, funky, but yacht rock type music. So if you like Steely Dan and that stuff, you might like this. That's it. I'm done. Whew. Thank you for watching. Talk to you next time, and leave some comments. Peace. Bye-bye.